pound for pound, one of the best cruiserweights, or not cruiserweight, one of the best fighters today. 100% top 5 pound for pound in the world. One of the best cruiserweights ever. The question mark is, can he translate that to heavyweight? We know he did it in the amateurs in the world, but it's a different game. Chisora ain't no amateur, mate, with 10-ounce gloves, sweating and slobbering all over you and walking you down and backing you up. Elbows, heads, getting everything coming in. So he is completely proven. He's not proven at heavyweight. Can he go on and become a world champion? If he beats Chisora in style, I think the answer could well be yes. But it's a different game now. You know, it's not. I think against Tony Bellew, you know, I think Tony wanted that fight at cruiserweight because he wanted to become undisputed cruiserweight champion. But Tony would have had probably more chance, stone heavier or something like that. So we don't know how the power's going to translate, how the movement's going to translate, how the chin's going to hold up, how the gas tank's going to hold up, how the strength in the clinches is going to hold up. These are all the unanswered questions about Oleksandr Usyk. But the great thing about this fight is they all get answered on one night against Derek Chisora. Because Usyk's not going to go in there and knock him out in a round, 2 rounds. This is going to be a dirty war. But we're going to learn everything we need to know about Oleksandr Usyk at heavyweight.
I believe the way he can win this fight is by him knocking me out. But if that's not going to happen, I'm going to keep coming, you know. I'm ready to go to the other side. I'm ready to die in the ring for this fight. So I'll be so excited for it. The guy's got good foot movement, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, if I box his way, he's gonna win it. You know, he can dance around me 24/7. You know, I'm not gonna take that away from him. But I know for a fact, I just need to land a couple of punches I need to land to slow him down. But it's gonna be an exciting fight, to be honest with you.
I think if Derek is motivated and he comes in shape and he's in a good place, I think he'll beat Usyk. I think he beats him.
I think Derek can. I think he's revived his career, and he's, you know, he went from he's a lot of experience. He went from losing a few fights, now he's winning a lot more fights, and he's, you know, the crowd loves him because he's a fighter who comes forward, throws punches, aggressive. You know, he's on your chest, and for Usyk, he has to be very smart. He has to box and move, and not get caught.
Derek Chisora, of all of his whole career, now he's at his best. He's 36 years old. It sounds crazy, you know. I boxed him when he was 28, and mentally he wasn't a professional fighter. He didn't take training seriously. He didn't live the life. He wasn't sacrificing. He wasn't watching what he was eating, he wasn't watching what he was drinking, he wasn't doing what needs to be done to get the best out of himself. Now he is. He might be a little bit older, a few more miles on the clock, but he's significantly more effective now as a contender than he's ever been. And if there's ever a time that he's needed 12 rounds of hellacious action in him, it's a fight where he could be outboxed for the majority of the fight. But all he needs is 1 round of level landing, the combination that he landed against Spilka. If he lands that against Usyk, they're both similar sizes. Spilka's probably bigger than him. You know, Spilka's gone down to cruiserweight now. So that's how hard he hits. So if he can use it, once again, Derek Chisora wouldn't be considered a one-punch knockout specialist. But because he's so heavy and because he's so strong and he just keeps moving forward,
so that's Carlos Takam,
yeah, exactly. You know, the fact that he was able to take that beating from Carlos Takam. Could Usyk take a beating like that? I don't believe so. I don't believe he never has. And I believe, and the fact that he's never taken it means he's probably quite fresh, but he's then unconditioned to take an abuse because he's so skillful. He never does. Inspiring him in fights. I'm not saying he's soft. He's not soft. He's tough as they come. But he's never had to take a beating. Not that I've seen. Maybe behind closed doors he has some real tough sparring. But his fights are so calm and he's so in control. He's never had to go soul searching. He's never had to dig deep. Derek's had to dig deep in pretty much all of his fights. He's losing the fight most of the time, and he's got to find a knockout. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes he doesn't. But now he's taking it seriously. He's got 12 rounds of fight in him, and I think Team Usyk have made a horrendous error in picking. They picked Derek Chisora. They've literally picked. They could have picked anybody. They picked Derek Chisora as their opponent. I think they got it way wrong.
We know what Derek is, and what he is a tough, seasoned, world-class heavyweight who went 12 rounds of Vitaly Klitschko. Had a great fight with David. Had 2 exceptional fights with Dillian Whyte. The first one that he could have got the decision. The second one, I think he was ahead on points before getting caught in the 11th round. So Derek has proven that he is a world-class heavyweight. Oleksandr Usyk has got the biggest step up in terms of categories because he's a cruiserweight stepping up to the naturally bigger men. In his first fight with Chaz Witherspoon, he proved that he has those boxing skills, but then he couldn't break down a fella that's not a world-class heavyweight. So you know that Derek's going to come, and he's going to come swinging, and he's going to impose himself on Usyk. And it's whether we know technically Usyk can cope with things, but can he physically? And Derek is certainly the man in the heavyweight division to test that element.
A lot of people are looking at the Chaz Witherspoon fight and saying, oh my God, you know, he fights like that against Derek Chisora. That was his first fight at heavyweight. He put a lot of weight on. His body hadn't caught up. It hadn't made the adjustment. We know that Usyk is a better fighter than that. And there is the team that he has around him is a very smart, a very clever boxing team. They're sitting there in the mandatory. If they thought there was any chance of a 50-50 fight or any chance that they could get, come unstuck, they would never, ever have taken this fight. There are 20 other opponents out there that the television networks would have accepted, the boxing media would have accepted, that the promoters would have accepted. They chose Chisora. They chose him because they know that the angles, the footwork, the hand speed, the skill set of Usyk is far superior to Derek Chisora.
Derek is a great test for him. And if he is going to be the heir apparent, if he is as good as what we think he is, or people say he is, then he should get through this with flying colours. But Derek is seasoned, he's pro, he's lost 9 professional fights, so he's won, lost and drawn in his career. He understands every aspect of our game. He's a strong, capable heavyweight that will test anybody up to world level. So if Usyk is going to be a world champion, this is the perfect acid test for him because he's in against somebody that's not there to roll over. I seen Derek yesterday. He looked in brilliant condition, hungry, positive. He's got a wise David Haye behind him. Everything's done right, gym work wise, sparring wise, eating right. And I tell you, I've never seen him look so good condition wise. And he's tough. He's naturally tough. And so if there's any chinks in Usyk's armour, Derek will find it.
Chisora's a dog. He's a dog. And what he did to David Price, I was at that fight.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, what he did to David Price was an Olympic, silver medalist, bronze medalist?
Bronze, yeah.
Bronze medalist. And he just dogged him out. So I'll take the risk on this, and I'm gonna say Whyte. I'm gonna say Chisora. And I think Chisora may stop Usyk within 8 rounds.
Wow.
Within 8.
Brilliant.
I'm not gonna say 8. I'm gonna say within 4 to 6, because it has to be early. Because if he slows down and lets Usyk box, Usyk will take him apart. But Chisora has to put the pedal to the metal the whole first part of the fight.
I rate Usyk a lot. And I believe maybe when Joshua retires, when Tyson Fury retires, and all these guys that have been, in the top 3, in the top 5 in the division, I think he will be the guy to look at. I think he will end up winning all the titles eventually. When all these guys, they come out of boxing, because Chisora is a good fight for him. He probably will be light on his feet, but to be in heavyweight division, you have to have a bit of adjustments. Especially coming from the cruiserweight division. But I think he will end up doing well in the heavyweight division.
To lose, Derek, and all to gain from this. So he's a happy fighter coming into this. So like I said, he'll have trained. And I think we're going to see the best Derek we see, So, they've upped their game tenfold. But is it going to be enough? That's the question. So we know on skill set and everything else, Usyk is miles ahead. But still, there's question marks there because, you know, you've got a very game fighter in Chisora and he's going to bring everything in the kitchen sink, which he needs to do. So it just depends how Usyk holds up. So let's see. You've got to say Usyk's the heavy favourite, like everything else. And, you know, they know that. But, you know, anything can happen in heavyweight boxing. I'd have to put it on Usyk, to be honest, just on the sheer skill set and everything else. But that doesn't mean to say, I don't know. I can't look in Chisora's camp. But the Chisora of old wouldn't chance against Usyk. So it's how much Chisora's come on in this camp. And, you know, with that attitude he's got, like you said, nothing to lose. Everybody expects him to lose. Could be this is what Chisora could need to light his fire, so to speak.
I think it's a great fight for Usyk. Fantastic fight for his next career step, next career move. And I think he will school Derek. That's what I genuinely think, yeah. He will school Derek, make him disheartened, and maybe even quit on the stool. Maybe, possible. Derek has, again, puncher's chance. That's the only thing that Derek has over Usyk. He will not be able to outbox him. He will not be able to do anything. Just literally puncher's chance.
Both of them have to be perfect. You know, I'm not sure of Usyk's punching power, you know, to say that, okay, he can be able to stop Derek, you know, or he could be able to hurt Derek, you know, over and over again. Like it's okay to get hurt once or twice, but to be continuously hurt over and over again from like a overpowering of your opponent, you know, I don't think he actually has that. If he does, he does, but if he doesn't, I'm not sure. But I don't think that he actually has that. So I think he's going to have to be perfect with his movement. Derek has to be relentless and more perfect with his head movement, you know, coming in with a jab or doing whatever we work on, you know, in camp. But I just think that this fight here is pretty much a hard one to judge as far as, you know, if we matching up these abilities and if this person does this, if this person does that. Because Usyk's a very good mover, you know, but Derek's a very good pressure fighter, you know, but these are the things that make fights. Styles make fights, and we can only make assumptions until the night comes.